So, yeah, as I said a minute ago, the number one mistake that a lot of teachers make is they only rely on word of mouth, or I should have put word of mouth or like a single kind of source for their students, like yeah, word of mouth referrals, or they only rely on Facebook, or they only rely on the public school system. So what that does, it's sort of like, when they say talk about investing, they say have a diverse portfolio. It's the same thing where if you just rely on one um, channel for getting your students, if that dries up, you're in a lot of trouble. For example, if you run Facebook ads and they kill, and then all of a sudden Facebook changes the algorithm, and then you get zero students, you're kind of screwed. So this, by diversifying your sort of your marketing channels, the way that you market, you are pretty much guaranteed that no matter what happens, you're always going to have a steady stream of students. So that's why marketing is very important. You don't have to study marketing, other than taking the course in the Drum Educators Network. There's a big section on marketing. This is actually the first module, so you're actually seeing it. So now you're getting a little free class today. Yeah, so active versus passive marketing. So active marketing could also be called like sort of not like direct. Well, I guess direct response. It's basically you promote something and wanting people to take action. So putting up posters, someone sees your poster, there's a phone number, they call it. The ads that I was talking about, partnering with music schools, and I guess that's not so much passive active. That should be actually passive. I have to fix this. But and then sending emails or messages to people who have expressed interest, or phoning them. So those are the sort of the ways to get yourself in front of students like right away. So if you need students today, if your rent is due on May 1st and we're April 9th today, so in 3 weeks, if you owe a bunch of money, those things will get you students in the near future. But if any of those dry up, then you're kind of screwed. So that's when we get into passive marketing, which is long-term growth and brand awareness. Passive marketing is about setting up systems that bring in students over time. So the number one for me was ranking number one on Google when people search drum lessons Montreal or cours de batterie Montréal if they're looking in French. So I worked very hard to get us to number one ranking on Google. That's a passive marketing tactic. That means that it just sits there in the long term, and I don't have to do too much. I have to make sure that our website, like I update it, I keep it looking professional, and we keep traffic coming into it. That will keep us ranked as number one. If I ever start dropping in the rankings, then I'm just going to look at my website again, look at what the other people are doing, and make adjustments so that I can become competitive again and rank number one. Another method of passive marketing is to post valuable drumming content on social media. So that can be drum lessons. It can be features of students at your school. It can be inspirational quotes. All kinds of those types of things can be passive marketing tactics. Another one is, I talked about emails earlier. So that's for like people who are interested in taking classes now. But if people don't respond to those emails, you can put them into what would be called in the marketing world, a nurture campaign. And so you would be sending them emails, I would say at least once a week, but 2 or 3 times is better. If they unsubscribe, it's because they weren't interested anyways. So don't be afraid to kind of put yourself out there as much as possible in front of people. And it's just because, I know for myself, sometimes I need to be reminded a lot of times before I'm going to do something. So it's that simple. It's just reminding people that you're there so that at the moment when they need to hear it, you're there and not somebody else. And then the other one is, so I talked about word of mouth earlier. So you can build a referral program where your current students bring in your new students. So you can kind of provide incentives and that kind of thing. So yeah, passive marketing builds credibility and authority. So you're not just saying like, hey, click on this link on Facebook that I paid for and I'm going to be great. It's sort of showing that you know what you're talking about, and that people are coming to you rather than kind of always shaking your flyer in front of people's faces. So yeah, they'll see you as kind of the go-to person in your area, and that will lead to a steady stream of inquiries. So we get 3 or 4 inquiries, same inquiries. We get 3 or 4 inquiries per day, by email, by phone, text, Facebook, everything. Probably, yeah, 3 or 4, maybe 5, something like that. But we get that every single day, year round, and that's where we get our students from. So probably like at least 1,000 contacts a year. And then out of that, we convert about 5%. So then that's about, no, 5%, 1 in 5, we convert about 20%. So that's about 200 new students per year that we get through all of these different marketing channels. So that's how each thing has its own benefits and its own strengths. So if you kind of do them all together, it will give you a really strong marketing presence. And then you don't have to do much. You have to do some maintenance. So post some things on social media once in a while, update your website every once in a while, Google My Business, that kind of thing. Keep things current so that it will stay ranked high, and so that when people see you, they know that you're active and they're going to want to call you. That's it. So you shouldn't feel uncomfortable promoting yourself, because if you don't promote yourself, then people aren't going to call you. It's often like people are afraid to, and I know I used to be like that. I didn't want to annoy people or be too pushy, but like I said a minute ago, oftentimes, like, some people get annoyed, but we don't have control over that. I had someone hang up on me the other day. So someone emailed me for info. They left their phone number, so I sent them the email. I probably called them the next day or the day after that, and I called them, and when I said who I was, they laughed, and then they hung up. And at first I thought it was a mistake, and I called them back, and it went straight to voicemail. And then I realized that they had hung up on me. So me sending the email that they asked for and then phoning them, which is what they asked for, somehow offended and annoyed them. And I also texted them and said, hey, I think we got disconnected somehow. I'm free if you have any questions. And they never answered me. So you never know, like, was that being too pushy? Someone give me their email address and their phone number, and then me actually reaching out to talk to them? I don't think it is. So you never know. If, like, everyone has their limits. That's my point. And for most people, they don't mind if they're interested in drumming. They're not going to mind that you remind them, hey, drumming. A week later, text them, hey, are you interested in drum lessons? Then they get the weekly emails. We have drum lessons. This week we have a sale. This week we have an open house. This week it's bring a friend week. Oh, drum lessons. That's right. Let's get in there. Okay, so that's why you don't worry about the marketing stuff and that you're like being pushy, or it's just don't be pushy. Don't harass people, like, But for the most part, like the example I gave a minute ago, I've had a million phone calls with people about drum lessons and sent emails, and the numbers of people who act like that are so low that I don't even think about it when I'm calling people. I don't think like, oh, this isn't a call center selling like some scam credit card or something. You're contacting people who actually want to take drum lessons, and they're excited about it. So you should be excited to call them and to market to find those people. Um, yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about today. Um, yeah. So this was module 1 for the Passion to Profit framework.